Hello, friends, and welcome back to Too Many Minis. My name's Ossie. Just wanted to run through a couple of announcements and reveals that we've had in the last couple of weeks. The first one to look at was the Ghoul King from Games Workshop that they released. It's their Boxing Day miniature, and it's a kind of unusual one. It's a kind of display piece. It's not an action pose, and I love that. I love that sort of thing. I'm crazy about sort of display piece models like that. And I've never had any interest in the Flesh Eater Courts in any way. But this guy I like. And I really like him as a kind of alternative Goblin King for Middle Earth. I really like this kind of look for that. I don't think he's going to be big enough. I assume he's on a 40 millimeter base. A 40 millimeter base. But that's too small for the big Goblin King, who must be on a 60 or something. I can't remember. No, not quite 60, 50, whatever that one is. But I think he looks great, and I'm really tempted to get him just to paint up. So an unusual kind of one-off mini that I'm into. The second thing that is interesting is we had this announcement of Henry Cavill doing Warhammer TV show or movies at Amazon, involved in the right stuff for Games Workshop and this kind of thing. And so I mean, that's whatever. Maybe you're into that. I'm probably not that bothered, but I like the models. I'm not that bothered about watching TV shows of it, but it might be good and I might be into it. But the thing that is interesting for me and for a lot of Lord of the Rings fans is that means Games Workshop and Amazon have come to a deal about something. They're in communication. And that seems to me to increase the possibility of any Rings of Power tie-in from Games Workshop. I mean, that's down the line, I would guess. But whereas I thought there was probably no chance of it happening or very little, the fact that they're now working together makes you think, maybe. I mean, if Amazon Prime are going to be showing a Warhammer 40k TV show, they'll want to be selling the models, won't they? I mean, that makes sense to make that deal work for both sides. And if they're going to be doing that, then it makes more sense than ever before to have a Rings of Power range. So there's that. If you can't wait that long, Forge Master Minis have got a fantastic Orcs of the South modular kit they've just put together. And it's exclusive to them. I don't think you can get the STL or anything. They're doing it in store. And a lot of people already go to them for their unavailable miniatures and that kind of thing for Lord of the Rings. But these orcs are great, capturing some of that look from Rings of Power. And I think everybody seems to like the orcs in Rings of Power. Everyone liked them, right? So if you want to pick up some of these, that's a cool new kit. And maybe we'll get official ones one day, but maybe we won't. But just a nice little side thing. I don't normally mess with a lot of third-party miniatures, but these are great. And I'd definitely give them some thought if I didn't already have a million orcs. The last thing to mention is Marvel United Multiverse. This kind of came out of the blue, pretty much. There's been two series of Marvel United games. They're board games, kind of family board games that were Kickstarters, made by Call Me or Not, who do these massive Kickstarters, Zombicide and that kind of thing. And Marvel United, I really like it. It's a game I play with my kids, and they can play it. It's cooperative. We sit around and we defeat a villain with our heroes, and the game has 200 models available for it, and they each have their own little deck of cards for playing the game, or villain cards if they're a villain, or sometimes they're both, like Magneto. You don't need 200 different models, different characters, but it kind of is somewhere in there. Somewhere there's some sweet spot of numbers where it is what makes the game really work, the variety and stuff. So I am actually excited about another series of this. I want them to do the Inhumans. You can see from the preview that there's Ironheart in there, and Shuri, Black Panther, and Agent Carter, and I think a different version of Spider-Man 2099, and the kind of galactic Ghost Rider, which is Punisher. I don't really understand that storyline. But I'm totally up for some more of my favorite characters. And the main thing they trailed in the little video, which you can see, I'll link to, is Galactus. And they did a massive Galactus mini for the Marvel Zombies board game. I don't think this will be quite so massive because you see these models are kind of, you know, they're chibi style little models. I've just finished Snowbird from Alpha Flight because my youngest daughter is crazy about her because look, she's like total bait for little girls. But you know, you got all sorts. Warlock, Loki, unrelated Adam Warlock, Cap, Spidey, Captain Marvel. And some people really don't like these models. They don't like a chibi style at all. Personally, I think these are fantastic. The artist who did all the design for them has just got a really good grip on it all, and I think makes really great versions of the characters, these iconic characters, and they are my favourite Marvel miniatures, even more so than Marvel Crisis Protocol. I love them. Even Squirrel Girl. And I love painting them. So I am excited about that third Kickstarter, even if it's the same size as the last two. So it's going to end up being a lot of minis in the painting queue. I've painted about 40, but you know, I've got 160 to go already before we get any more. Let me know if you're excited about any of these things or any new stuff coming out. I think we'll hear more stuff about Middle Earth in the new year. I think we're due some news in that front. Thanks for the likes and subscribes and all that good stuff. And I hope you have a Merry Christmas. And I'll probably see you on the other side. Cheers. Bye.